So Sarah, welcome to FrightFest. The found footage phenomena has just finished screening. What was the reaction?
I feel like generally the reaction was good, but the reaction from me or the audience?
The audience.
Yeah, I think generally the reaction was good. We got some nice questions, and hopefully people have learned something from the film. So you can hope for, really.
Definitely. And I mean, obviously, it's about found footage, which, in some horror circles is seen as the ugly sister of horror. What was it that made you decide that no, this, we want to prove that this is an incorrect way of thinking?
Well, I think that you can't judge something like this, which is just, it is a genre, and you can't just say, oh, that entire genre is rubbish. So I think I've always loved found footage films, but you can't really say I love all found footage films because that's just impossible. Like, they're so different. And so what we wanted to show was just the merits of what there is out there, and that maybe if you just write off the whole genre and you say, oh, I can't see that's found footage, well, maybe you should rethink it. And I don't want to be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, but some people are like that, and I've loved found footage for 10 years of my life. That's what people say to me. So, we wanted to sort of show the merits of the genre, basically.
And one of the things that I thought was really good is how you trace it back, beyond film and back to Bram Stoker's Dracula. How much research did you guys put into sort of trying to find out where was potentially the inception of this genre?
It's difficult to say how much research you put in, but personally, I'm really interested in the realism and aspect of film and how people make something seem realistic. And so when you look back at something like Dracula, obviously you're reading some journals and some diary entries, and you're like, this is obviously real. I found this diary, and I feel like this is, and there's nothing more scary than something that you think is real, for me anyway. And so it's difficult to say how much research went in, because if you know a genre or a subject for a long period of time, you just kind of track it and follow it and everything, and then it all comes into one thing at some point. So that's what this is.
I mean, you've got so many people, growing the breadth of this. You've got, people from Cannibal Holocaust. You've got the host Rob Savage. You've got big, film critics and stuff. Was there anybody that sort of had a pinch me moment and were like, I can't believe that they're willing to talk to us about this?
Yeah. There was a long time when we didn't think Oren Peli from Paranormal Activity would be interested in doing an interview for us, but then it came through quite last minute, and we were like, yes! Because at the end of the day, something like, apart from Blair Witch, Paranormal Activity is probably the most famous found footage film, and everyone loves it. And so to get him, it was quite interesting to ask him what where his original, and also to learn that his original sort of inspiration came from things like Ghostwatch and yeah, so him.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that I think the documentary really highlights is how the genre has changed and shifted along with technology. Obviously, we've got the video cameras, phones. Now we're sort of moving into the screen life. Do you have any idea where you think the genre might continue to push?
It's really difficult to say, because I love to think about what sort of technology would have in the future, but from watching films like The Matrix and stuff, that people don't, and Star Trek, people just stumble upon stuff that they did. It's really unpredictable, the future of technology, and I think that equally means that the future of found footage is as equally, God, I'm not getting this out. The future of found footage is equally as unpredictable, because technology is so unpredictable.
I mean, I know it's going to be like asking you to pick babies, but which 2 or 3 found footage films would you say are your favourite, your go-to fixes?
The Last Broadcast I love, and I think that it's criminally underrated, and I know everyone says that about films, but it came out a year, obviously 1998, a year before Blair Witch, and it kind of got eclipsed, and it has a lot to say about fact and fiction, what's real and what's not, what sort of things we're consuming and what we feel like is the truth when we're watching like the news or something, or any old documentary or whatever, and we just accept it all. And so I love that for that reason. But also I think like if you're looking for found footage horror for like a horror aspect, then Lake Mungo is probably the most scary found footage film I've ever seen, if you want to call it found footage. And Afflicted is one that I just absolutely love because their inventiveness, and they actually managed to put a really interesting vampire into a found footage film that basically no one else has done, apart from what we did in Shadows, which is also great.
And obviously, you know, this is, you know, a next screening at Fantastic Fest in Texas. You know, what's next once this film is done and dusted?
Well, we're also, after Fantastic, we're going to play Sitges, although it's not necessarily been announced yet. And I don't know, I mean, we are definitely. I don't know if they've told anyone, actually. We haven't been given a schedule. But yeah, we have got distribution, so look out for it soon. Can't say no more.
Well, I'll let you go back to the festival. Thank you.
Thank you.